This video is brought to you by Longoni Cues.
Hi pool players, it's the Terminator. Welcome back to another episode of Terminator Tips. This is the third video in the new series and this one's called Knight's Move. Again, only 2 balls on the table and this is pretty intermediate to advanced. I'm gonna break down the most common shots, build you up and make you a better player. So let's hop on to my Pro Start table right now and show you how this is done. Here we go. This is what it looks like. Only 2 balls, and because of this section here, it reminded me of the knight in a chess game. That's why I came up with Knight's Move. Not always easy to find names for these drills, but I gotta be creative. So I've broken it down again in the 8 most common shots that come up. As you see, a lot of times you have to go from this ball back all the way to this side of the table. Is that easy? No. Are you gonna have trouble with it? Yes. Is it gonna make you better? Yes. That's why we're doing it. It's a challenge. It's gonna bring your game up, your stroke, your technique, your understanding of lines, position play, touch, all that good stuff with just 2 balls on the table. Your job is to just go back and forth from the 1 to the 9, 9 to the 1, and you're gonna try and build a run. But first, before you're gonna run, you have to learn how to walk. So we're gonna break it down into these individual shots. We're starting right here with the first shot where you're pretty much straight in on the 1, and our job is to draw back to this area here. When you have a slight angle, you can also choose to draw it all the way back to the rail. Let's go for this. Just 6 o'clock on the cue ball. Nice stroke, nothing crazy. That's pretty decent, bit close to the rail, so you have to commit to either coming a hair short or a bit longer. I always prefer to go a bit longer because at least that guarantees me that I'm inside of this diamond and I'm not all the way here perhaps and hitting it way too short. Let me hit one more. Here we go. Let's go for this bottom rail now. Nice stroke. Here it comes. Gonna get a slight bounce. That's pretty nice. Practice this shot. Here's the second shot. Very common. Our angle now is much bigger. We're gonna go into this area shortly. First, the bigger angle now. Very, very doable with high inside spin. Going 1 rail, 2 rails, aiming for this approximately middle diamond here, shooting this way and towards the middle diamond here, bringing us into the line of position. We always talk about that. If you've watched my videos, you know that concept is very, very big, playing into the line of position. That increases your position play, increases your chances of running out, and that makes you a better player. We have to hit this with a healthy amount of spin. If the cue ball was a clock, it would be about 10 o'clock. If we would just hit this with high left, there's not enough spin to go to that bottom rail, and you're not going to be able to shoot around the angles. You see, you're coming up extremely high towards this 3rd diamond. We need a bit more spin to carry us slightly lower. So a bit more spin this time. 10 o'clock on the cue ball. High left. You don't have to hit it that hard. And you see, once it hits this 3rd rail, 1, 2, 3, 4th rail, see how nicely that's going down into the line of position. Practice this shot. Very powerful, very common. But let's say in this 3rd example, now you're playing a game of 9 ball and there's blockers in that area. You can't go around the table anymore. That's when we have to go with low right. This is a very tricky shot. 1 rail, 2 rails, and going into this area. What's tricky about it is that after this 2nd rail, you're gonna go into the scratch line. So it's very speed dependent. You cannot hit it too short And you cannot hit it too hard because that's when you're going to scratch. You have to time the speed very well, and this is a shot that you need to practice because it's not easy, but you need it in your arsenal. So let's hit one nice and crisp. You know, this is all speed control. I get asked a lot, how do you improve your speed? Well, this is it. You know, I have to hit into a certain target area here. Too short's no good, so long as the scratch. Practice this. The more you do it, the better you get at it. 5 o'clock on the cue ball, low right. Here comes. See, that's pretty good. Try that out. So we've done the almost straight in one. We did a few with a bigger angle. Now it's time for this in-between stuff. So let's look at this one, for example. This is still a nice angle, and with low right, you can go 1 rail, 2 rails, and coming into the line of position. Let's try that one out. So we just hit it nice and smooth. 5 o'clock if the cue ball was a clock. Let the spin help you. Nice and easy to that second reel. Look what happens. It's going into the line of position. Nice one to practice. If the cue ball is somewhat more towards the side pocket like this, it's about a ball to 2 balls this way, we can still go with low right, but this time we're going to the short rail directly and not to the long rail. Drawing this way and then out again for a reverse coming into the line of position. Once you hit this rail, it's coming nicely out for a smooth angle. Let's see what that looks like. Same type of stroke, low right. Watch as it hits the rail, comes out, and you get that smooth angle to continue your run. Really nice shot to have in your arsenal, and also to understand that you can go here, you can go here, you can go here. That's very, very powerful. And finally on this side, a very sneaky angle. It's about a ball away from the side pocket. If I would draw this back directly, there's a big chance I'm coming on top of this 5. So how do I get to a certain area on the 5? Well, I do want to go to this area, but just drawing it isn't good enough. So I have to increase my tip position somewhat to not go full draw, but more stun draw. So a tip higher than draw to just delay the draw effect, but still get a downwards effect. If this is not going to grab enough for you, then perhaps you can add a tip of right to make it kick off the rail with helping English somewhat more. I'm going to demonstrate both versions. First, just with the stun draw. Let's see what that looks like. Tip higher than draw. See, it delays a little bit before the draw grabs. It kind of stuns off the rail somewhat, and then it grabs, works like a charm. And you can also do that with a tip of helping right spin. You do have to adjust your aim somewhat because you're going to get some throw. So you might have to aim slightly thicker because the one is going to get kicked to the left a little bit. So stun draw with a tip of right spin. Pretty advanced shot. You really have to focus on that tip position, and you need that spin then to help you go down table. There it comes. See, you have to hit it relatively firm because it's not full draw. You need a bit more power to get the draw energy in, but you also need that tip higher to get that slight stun effect in. But look how that reacts. I mean, that is a powerful shot to practice and have in your bag of tricks. Highly recommend this one. And it could also be that we need to hit one with topspin because there are some blockers in play. Experiment with the different angles. If you get too far away from the side pocket, it's not going to grab anymore this way. Then you need to go around the rails that we've practiced before. But when you're fairly close to the side pocket, a few balls out, you can hit it just with a high ball, going 1, 2 and a potential third rail coming into this area. Let's try this one. Make sure that you hit it with enough topspin. You need a lot of forward energy. Good stroke. Relatively firm. See, it's a tougher shot, but we're gonna look at these angles for this shot right now. Basically, all the shots that are relatively close with good angles to the one are from the Terrific 3 drill. So look that one up to get more inspiration and information out of that one, how to do this. If you have a really nice angle like this, you can hit it with one tip of inside, going towards the 5, 2 rails like that. When it's somewhat tighter and more shallow like this, you can hit it with low right, going towards the ball, like that. All great shots to master. And when you're somewhat higher, you can just go one rail directly to the ball, playing into the line of position. Like that. Now we're gonna look at the steeper angle. But let's say now that we've come up in this area, approximately 3rd diamond, you cannot roll it in anymore because it's gonna go too far. Now it's time to go 1 rail, 2 rails towards this diamond and back out. Just a high ball, no spin required. Here it comes. I'm not hitting the rail first, still hitting ball first, very thin. Nice angle to continue my run. So this is an extended shot from the up and down drill. Up and down drill, there's a ball here. We want to go past the side pocket, hitting this diamond and coming here. But now we want to just extend that line a bit further and get a shot on the 5. So this would be a tip of high left, still hitting the ball first, not rail first, and let it just float down there. Here it comes. Boom, boom. With some practice, you're gonna get it there. In the beginning, you might hit it with too much spin. You might hit it with too little spin. With just one tip of spin, it's gonna go to this area and then it just does its job automatically. Go to work on this. So you've done all your prep work, you've worked on the individual shots, now it's time to put the hammer down and see what this looks like in a dynamic version. Try to run as many as you can. For you good players out there, 10s and 20s, if you're building your game up, 5, 6, 8, try to hit 10. In the beginning, you're gonna struggle with these longer shots. That is normal and totally fine. Like I said, make sure you practice with the object ball on this side for, let's say, 15 minutes. Then you move it to the opposite side because the spin is going to change and you get strong on both sides. I'm just going to show it on this side for this example, but make sure you do both sides. It's going to look something like this. Remember, if you've done this for about 15 minutes, move that object ball to the other side so you get strong on that side as well. Have fun with this. There you go, pool players. I'm sure you're gonna get a lot out of this one. Once again, practice these shots. Don't be lazy. Go to work on these individual shots and then make it dynamic, going back and forth. This is pure power. This is gonna make you much better. Don't forget to check out all the other great content on the channel. There's videos, playlists for all kinds of topics. Browse around. And if you're ready to work on the most important part of your game, the mental side, head over to the Terminator College and check out the courses there. I'll see you in the next episode.